Welcome to our next video. We'll be talking about the Phillips curve. Phillips curve, there's a short run and there's a long run Phillips curve. And Phillips curve indicates the trade-off, that indicates that there is, or that there is supposed to be a trade-off between inflation rate and the unemployment rate. In the short run, people say there is. In the long run, many people say there is not. There is not any trade-off. So they suppose it's this way in the long run and this way in the short run. How can we possibly explain the trade-off? Trade-off means if one goes down, if one thing goes up, the other goes down, and vice versa. So if there is an increase in the price level, what happens to wage divided by price level? Wages divided by price level. If the price level goes up, wage divided by price level goes down. Which means, in real terms, not in nominal terms, but in real terms, firms would pay less on the labor market for hiring people. So if they paid less, they would hire more. So firms would hire more people, more workers. So the demand for labor would go up. Keep that in mind, that the demand for labor was by the firms and the supply of labor by households, by people, by the workers themselves. So the demand for labor goes up, and which indicates and which causes an increase of labor itself. There is more labor, there is more employment. If price level goes up, there is more employment on the labor market, which means there is less unemployment. All in all, we have an increase in the price level, we have a decrease in the unemployment rate, which means that, at least in the short run, there is a trade-off, there is a negative correlation between inflation rate and the unemployment rate, meaning that the short run Phillips curve would go this way. That's true in the short run. What happens now in the long run? In the long run, as price level increases, as this decreases, trade unions would say, now there is, in real terms at least in real terms, there is a decrease in the wage, in the real wage. So we need to increase the nominal wage, we need to increase this amount of wage to put it back on track as we had before. And so the wage rate would rise, meaning that now firms would hire less because the wage rate, the nominal wage, goes up. Firms would hire less, and there would be a smaller L, there would be a smaller employment on the labor market, which means there would be higher unemployment. As a consequence, as this short-run effect happens, afterwards, in the long run, it goes just the other way around. It goes with an increase of unemployment, meaning that all in all, you can put it back on track. You could just as well have an increase again in the price level, but in the long run, it's not going to change at all. So you can have increases, decreases in the inflation rate. It doesn't change. Nothing changes. Nothing is going to change the unemployment rate in the long run. So that's long run Phillips curve, that's short run Phillips curve. Politicians are very keen on the short run Phillips curve. If you have a politician who wants to be re-elected, he sometimes, maybe not sometimes, maybe always, he wants to have a short-run effect on the unemployment rate, because he thinks or she thinks that people might going to elect him or her if the unemployment rate goes down. And if the unemployment rate goes down, he's going to be re-elected. So he wants to have an increase in the price level. So for politicians, there is always an incentive to take a look at the short-run Phillips curve and to somehow influence the central bank if possible, to have an increase in the price level, just to have a decrease in the unemployment rate, just to be re-elected in next election. Thank you for watching.